happy friends. I have a My Heritage series layout for you today, and I am really excited about this one because I really love how it turned out. It is super fun and fresh, and I really when I thought about doing this series, layouts like this excuse me, are really what I this is what I imagined for this series, for these types of layouts for my album. Adding a little bit of mixed media but not overdoing it, and just having a fresh way to look at old photos. So right now I am taking that parquet flooring type of background from, I think it's the Wonder Collection. I think it's the Wonder Collection. And I'm using just some like aqua paint. It's just your basic acrylic paint. I actually went to my local craft store and picked up a whole bunch of bottles. They were pretty cheap. They were like $1 something. Or, I mean, you could probably even get some for cheaper than that, depending where you are. And then I also have this gold. Is that gold? No, that's copper. So I have some copper because I love this color. And this is actually a Martha Stewart paint. But and then I'm going to do some of these. I did wait a little while in between each one, and I have no idea what I'm doing right now. Apparently watching something. Apparently I didn't edit this very well. But I did wait in between each one. The nice thing about this is a silk screen, and the nice thing about that is you don't really need a whole lot of paint for it to go through. And also, because it's such a thin layer, it dries really, really quick. So I'm going to take this photo that I printed off, and this is a photo from my family, and it is a digital copy, and it is not a very great copy. Pretty much the only way that they could get these photos to me was through Facebook, which is fine. It's not like a super big deal to me because in the end, I have a backup on my computer and on my hard drive, and so I mean, later on, if for some reason I need to reprint it or something, I can. It's not that big of a deal. But really, in the end, it's getting these photos out in an album so that we can see them. And okay, so it's not the best photo, and I did kind of play around with the different color, black and white colors because it's originally black and white, but it does kind of have like a sepia tone to it. So I'm taking those corners were from Dear Lizzie, and then that purple paper is from So Fancy by Simple Stories. And I've had this paper for a while. I really like that I got to add papers from a whole bunch of different collections together. And I'm making some corners, and I'm going to add them like wonky on purpose. I really like the way that it looks. It just kind of adds another playful tone to this layout, even though the photo is so stoic and um I mean, and I know that's kind of like how people took photos back when this photo was taken, and this photo is from what? Maybe 1930 maybe, or 1928, something like that. The youngest little boy in here I know was around 2 or 3, maybe. It's hard to tell, but if I had to guess, I would say he was probably like 2. He might have even been a little bit younger, like 1.5. I mean, he almost looks like he's just starting to walk and stuff. He still has that baby face, those chunky cheeks. He's so cute. So yeah, I will say that the hardest part of this layout is that not my family didn't know who everybody was. So, or at least the people who gave me the layout or this photo. So I had to kind of guess at who was who. I mean, and I knew who some of the people I could tell right away who they were. So that's okay. And I'm okay with that because, I mean, really, like, the main people to me are like my direct descendants. And obviously, this is, um, I mean, this is my family. But it's my great, it's, let's see, it's my grandma. Okay, it's her family. So this is her her mother and her grandmother. So it's like my great grandmother and my great great grandmother. And so the rest of them are just like aunts and uncles. So I'm okay because I know who my great grandmother is and my great great grandmother and my grandfather. So the rest of them, if I don't know exactly who they are, it's okay. Because in all reality, maybe they have some photos and they would that family and they might be able to tell me who they are. So that's the good thing about when you do and you share photos like this, to just kind of like always be double checking because sometimes people think they know who people are and they don't really. This is something that I have just found in general with all the heritage and ancestry type stuff that I have dealt with in the past. So, I always find that even if you think something is correct, it might not always be correct. But anyway, like I said, I know who my grandmother is and my great grandmother, or my great grandmother and my great great grandmother who are in this photo. So that's all that really matters. And that floral leaf paper was from Maggie Holmes, the new Maggie Holmes, so the Shine. And so I mixed some Dear Lizzie, some Shine, and I'm going to use these 7 paper gold, well, I want to say thickers. They're not thickers because they're not thickers. They're alphas, but they are so beautiful and they work perfect for this. They are really perfect. So I'm just going to spell out Pangborn because that's their last name and family portrait. You couldn't get more unoriginal than that. But I'm okay with that because really that is what this is. And sometimes that's what a title is. It's just telling you what something is. And I think especially back in this time period, it was really important for them to get family photos together because they didn't really take a lot of photos. So they tried to make sure that like the family was together and they all were in it and all of the kids were all, dressed up in their nice Sunday outfits um and so it just makes it even more fun where, nowadays like not everybody, like I know in my family photos you hardly ever see pictures of me with my kids or pictures, like even sometimes getting my husband in photos is really really difficult. So I really love how these old photos, you get everybody in the family, the mom, the dad, the sisters, the aunts, the uncles, grandparents, everybody is in these photos because it was a family photo and you only took one. You took 1 or 2 a year and that was it. And so that's all you had to remember your family by if they moved or whatever. Because even in the 30s, people were starting to move around quite a bit and you didn't always see your family. So yeah. So anyway, I'm just putting it down. And for family, I use Maggie Holmes and then I use some poolside of those little block stickers. I didn't have all of one kind, so I just added the blue and it works really well because it matches that teal blue Dear Lizzie paper. I think that's Dear Lizzie. That polka dot. Yeah, I think it is. I think it was from a 6x6. And I did have to glue those down a little bit because they didn't want to stick. They were being silly. I think those Maggie Holmes ones just had a hard time. They're really pretty, the black. And that was from Open Book. I still have some stuff from that. From then. Silly me. Actually, I'm looking at the chipboard from the Shine collection because it is really beautiful. And I had bought a pack myself, and then of course I got some in my hip kit. So I have double, which makes me really happy because there were some pieces like these plus signs I absolutely love. And I had to use them right away because I added plus signs on the background. But and then that plus sign I think was from my stash. I think it's my mind's eye. And then I'm looking through the Maggie Holmes open book because there's a lot of fun pieces that are in that ephemera pack that I haven't used. That was like the never ending pack of embellishments. I think after that pack, they cut down on how many embellishments because there were so many in there. I still have so many left. But it's fun for layouts like these because really it's a nice way to add bits and pieces and just be kind of fun. And because Maggie Holmes is a little bit vintagey, it works really well with this modern look. So I stuck all those together and I'm not sure if I did it yet, but I do staple them. Yeah, I don't staple them on the layout. I staple it to, like, I staple it and then I add it to the layout. Well, and actually I had to take it apart because it's hard for you guys maybe to see. It depends how big of a screen you're looking at this layout with, right? But so both I'm using two pieces, one down at the bottom, which is really hard for me to see, but near the glasses is an E, and that's I chose that because that's actually the initial of my grandmother and my great great grandmother, right? No. No, my great great grandmother. That's the her first initial. And because this is their family, I really wanted to like kind of pay homage to her. And also, and so I'm writing the date down. I'm almost done actually, so I need to get talking. And then up at the top, I have a W for William because that is the father's name. So I hope you guys enjoy this. I kind of talked a lot and I feel like I didn't get to say everything, but that's how it goes when you have a 12-minute layout, right? I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope you guys are enjoying the series because I'm having fun putting together my family album in a fun way. I will see you guys later and have a great week.